Half a day. My name is Patty Lizama, and I'm with the Membership Committee Chairperson for the Guam Contractors Association. Today I have with me Mr. Nicholas Malalisai, better known as Nick. It's easier to remember. From the SBA Small Business Administration based out of California. Nick, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Half a day.
Half a day. Oh, see, you say that so well and it matches your shirt. It's
Thank
perfect.
you very much.
Okay, well, you are a very, very important man that is very, very much filled with information that is really needed here on the audit. And I'd like to just throw that over to you and see what you'd like to talk about.
Well, Patty, what I'd like to talk about a couple items that are changes in the small business program. I do represent the Small Business Administration, SBA, and we aid and assist small businesses who want to sell their product or service directly to the federal government. And so there's been some recent legislative and regulatory changes that is real important to small businesses on island. Specifically, it's the program we're calling the All Small Business MentorProtege program. And what that's going to do is going to allow small businesses who, for instance, here common on Guam are hub zone firms, firms located in a historically underutilized business zone. And so they can find a mentor and join with that mentor and create what's called a mentor-protege agreement. That agreement has to come to SBA. We would review it and approve it if everything's in order. And then that hub zone firm can then joint venture with that mentor, which can be a large business, by the way. And so that joint venture now can bid on hub zone contracts. And so the Mentor-Protege program has been around for SBA's 8A business development program. They've always had that program. And so that Congress saw that it was very successful, and so they told SBA through law, because that's successful, let's transfer that program to other small business, other categories of small business. So now hub zone firms, like I just mentioned, can do that. Women-owned small businesses can now find a mentor and joint venture with their mentor. Service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses,
good.
they can, so all the categories of small business, they now have a mentor-protege program. And I think that's going to open up contract opportunities for small businesses in those other categories that haven't had an opportunity. They either don't have the competency, the technical competency, or the financial wherewithal to bid on those contracts. So now with a mentor that has some of those things, they can mentor, create the mentor-protege agreement, they can get a joint venture established, and then they can bid on those contracts. So that's a real important program I think you're going to see, and I think the Guam-based small businesses that take advantage of it, I think will be able to see some growth and development out of that.
I think, with the military buildup, the soon to happen, or is happening already.
Right, in process right now.
There's a lot of people out there, a lot of contractors, small or big, that are just kind of going around in circles wondering, okay, what do we do, where do we go, and how do we get this ball rolling, how do we start? I think with what you're talking about, especially with the veterans, the women-owned, there is a wealth of knowledge out there that can be created if they could go through SBA to do what they need to do.
I concur, and I think that one of the things we do, SBA, is we rely on what we call our resource partners, and these are organizations and entities then that are specifically designed and aid and assist small businesses getting started. So for instance, that All Small Business Mentor-Protege program that's going to get begin on October 1st of 2016, so this October. We rely on our resource partners then to help roll that out and introduce that to the small businesses, and maybe when a small business comes into them, they can utilize that program then. And so I want to certainly make mention of two resources specifically, the Guam PTAC, Procurement Technical Assistance Center, and that's run by Boris Hertzlet, yes. And I want to make sure that he's located at the University of Guam. And so that's definitely one of his main charters, is to aid and assist businesses that come to him, and if they can utilize that program, he'll help them walk through the process to get participate in it. The other is the Small Business Development Center, which is partially funded through SBA, SBDC, and they're also located at the University of Guam, and that's Casey Jazenka. Is that ringing that bell?
It does. Yeah,
and so, again, the SBDC do the same thing. Now, they also offer management counseling. They'll do like finances, and if you need a loan, they can help you work through that process of putting your loan package together. And both of them, also the PTAC and the SBDC, have satellite locations so that you don't have to go to University of Guam. But if another location is closer, then they can go to that location.
Great. Are you gonna market this information on, so that everybody will know?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think it's important. So the SBA presence on island is Ken Lujan.
Yes.
And Ken, the Guam branch manager,
Yes.
and he does a great job of informing
Yes,
the
he
local
does.
small business community. So as the programs become available, Ken and his office will be marketing those to the small business community, letting them know that it's available, and also organizations like the Guam Contractors Association,
Yes,
so that
yes.
they'll know that it's available, so that you can tell your members.
One thing, speaking about Ken, it's so funny, when they look at him, they say, hey, SBA. They forget his name, but he's got SBA tattooed on his forehead or something, yeah.
That's very true.
But it's good. And he's product knowledge. He is branded.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
As we've been around the island, I've been here a week now this week,
Mhm.
and as I've been around the island, everybody recognized Ken, and that was the first words, Mr. SBA.
Yes, yes.
One
Very
other
good,
one
yes.
other quick program program change I'd like to mention is that we talked real quickly about women-owned small businesses, and SBA has had some recent program changes in the women-owned small business program. One is that they have the ability to get sole source contracts, which was not available to them. They were the one set aside program that couldn't get sole source. That's changed now, and they can get a sole source contract. The other thing is we've changed the way where the women-owned small businesses upload their information,
Mhm.
and it's now a website called certify.sba.gov. And so I'll say it again, it's
Awesome.
certify.sba.gov, and that's the website they need to go to then to upload their information to self-certify that they're a woman-owned small business or an economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business.
See, as an example, with my business,
Yes.
I own my own brokerage for insurance. It's life insurance, financial annuities, and supplements. Would I be able to avail of that program?
Absolutely. The main criteria for it is that you have to be a business has to be 51% owned and controlled on a day-to-day basis by a woman or women. Based upon that, and assuming that your business meets the small business size standard, right, Small Business Administration, as long as you have those two criteria, then you're eligible to participate in the women-owned small business
Oh,
contracting
God,
program.
great. Nick, this is going to explode.
I think
I think you're going to have to move your office over here.
I think we're going to have to get Ken the resources he needs
Yes,
to be
yes,
able
you're
to
going
keep up
to.
with all the work.
This
So
is amazing. This is amazing.
I do think the MentorProtege program is a game changer, and that I think it's going to provide opportunities for small businesses in the subcategories of small
Yes.
businesses that they didn't have before, and it allows them to compete for contracts that there was no chance they were going to compete with. So, I know. So probably running out of time here, but I do
No,
want to
that's
mention
okay.
one more item that
Yes.
I think is also important. Is we've changed the joint venture regulations. So if a team of small businesses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10,
Mhm.
if a team of small businesses want to get together and bid on a federal contract, and say a large federal contract, as long as all of the joint venture partners are small for that procurement, then the whole joint venture is small. And I think that's a big change also. That'll allow teams of small businesses to bid on some of these large contracts, especially as the Guam Build-Up Program gets
Yes.
further
Yes.
down the road.
What do you categorize as small? How many employees?
It's really based upon your industry,
Okay.
and SBA sets size standards for the industry in general, and I just use this as a general rule so it gets people thinking about it. I say under 100 employees, or generally around 13.5 million. But very specifically, we have to talk about the business industry that you're in.
Okay. That's important.
It
That's
is.
important.
It is.
But I see a lot of women owned and a lot of veteran owned that are now starting to creep up, and build. Some retirees who say they've done their work and for the government, whether federal or the local, and now they're opening up their own business and still young enough and strong enough and smart enough, all that experience to come in and try to create something.
Oh,
on their
absolutely,
own.
absolutely, and I just very honestly, that's one of the great things about our country and about
Yes.
the island is the freedom to create and own your
Yes.
business, create wealth,
Yes.
and SBA as a federal agency trying to aid and assist those business, we're just happy to be a part of that.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a pleasure. You have a wealth of information that we'd like to get out as soon as possible. If anyone needs to get a hold of you, or can they call the Guam Contractor's Office and relay the information? Or is there any number that we can use to give out immediately?
Yeah, I think the best way to get a hold of us is through the local Guam,
Office,
right,
okay,
Guam branch
okay.
office, and
And that's Mr. Ken Lujan.
Yes,
Mr.
and-
SBA himself.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr. SBA.
Yes, okay, well, Nick, I thank you. It's a pleasure. Welcome to Guam, and we're ready to work. We're ready to rock and roll here.
And we're ready to assist you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
That's it. Thank you for watching.